Yes, so I'm here now with Michele, and in the background, as a backup, we have Gabriele, who is co-founder. He just said hi if you could not hear it. Michele and Gabriele are running SpazioDati, a very interesting SaaS slash Fintech startup. But I think it's best that I simply ask Michele to introduce himself and also your partner. And
Thank you very much. I'm Michele Barbera, and with Gabriele Antonelli, we are two of the co-founders of SpazioDati. SpazioDati was born in the beginning of 2013, and we started it by building a product for developers, which is a semantic text analytics engine.
Okay.
And we deliver this product on the market as a SaaS API.
Okay. So, just to get it right, in 2013 you started.
Yes.
And what is the technology? What is the solution you're offering?
Okay. The solution we were offering at that time was a semantic text analytics engine. So basically, an engine to which you could submit text and get back actionable data like topics, mentions, and these kind of things.
So what kind of data you can progress and analyze?
Any type of text.
Any type of text.
So
written and oral, or just written?
Just written.
Okay.
But a lot of times you can transform oral speech into written text,
Yes.
and then process it. So documents for us are real documents like
Okay.
contracts, for example, but even social media messages or websites. These are all documents for our engine, and they can be processed at scale.
Okay. And once you process the data, what can I do with it? What is an actionable information or task I can get out of it as a company?
You could, for example, find all mentions of a specific person or of a company.
Okay.
And that is an example where we're slightly moving towards the fintech sector.
Okay.
So say that you have millions of contracts and you want to find mentions of companies in those contracts.
Okay.
And then you want to sort out these contracts by the size of the company mentioned, for example. Our engine would allow you to do so.
Okay, perfect. So this was your starting point, and then, as you said, you were offering this for developers, that they could build their own product around it.
Yes, exactly, and we're still offering it.
Okay.
But what we realized that at least in Europe, I didn't mention we're based in Italy. At least in Europe, it is very difficult to market SaaS products for developers.
Okay.
This is for various reasons. What the problem we faced at that time was that most of the time when we engage clients, it was large to medium-sized corporations, and what they asked us was to make a proof of concept for them and then engage into a long sales process, which wasn't really sustainable for us.
Okay.
So it was kind of a fake SaaS solution,
Okay.
because people wouldn't buy it online.
So, okay, fake SaaS in the sense that you had very high customer acquisition costs,
Yes.
and there was no online conversion process, but
Exactly.
basically you had to do really field sales, and then they wanted a customized solution
Yes.
on top of it.
It wasn't
Okay.
scalable,
Okay.
basically.
So then you decided to pivot, I think?
Yeah, so then something happened in our history that we met an investor. It was a client first, and then it became an investor. This investor is it's called Cervet Group. It's one of the leading, or I would say the leading company information provider in Italy.
Okay.
And they approached us to use our technology for them to use it in their processes to extract data, and it worked so well that they decided to invest on us. But as part of the investment, it wasn't just money,
Okay.
but we signed an agreement to exchange data between us. So what we get from this is their huge database of companies, which now we integrate it into our semantic engine, and we augment it by crawling more information from the web. So we're basically getting, let's say, official structured data from them, and we use that as a seed, and then we go into the web and we process 200 million pages every week.
Wow.
And from those web pages, we understand exactly what a company does, who are their directors, where is it located, which other companies it partners with, and so on and so on. And the nice thing in this is that we use our own product to do the analysis. And on top of that, we are still selling that product as SaaS. But on top of that, we opened a new line of business, which is an end user product targeted to sales managers and marketing managers, which gives them intelligence on this company, lets them search. It's basically a search engine for all this company information, which is very valuable and very difficult to find.
Okay. So basically, with the pivot and the new investor, you changed your approach with respect to the end customer.
Yes.
And you opened a new business line, but with that you're serving as a SaaS with the two business lines on a subscription basis.
Yes.
For then which segment?
It's targeted to small and medium businesses mainly. The SaaS product, and it's a very cheap solution. It costs 99 euros per month. And yes, this one really worked as a SaaS, as a real SaaS solution. So people are converting online, and we set up a scalable process. But still, we get a lot of requests from larger enterprises to do integration, which we are now doing in a scalable way thanks to partnership with system integrators and third parties.
So basically, even in the field of SaaS, you found it interesting to have kind of a sales channel that is supporting you, like you would find it in on-premise software. Just that they have a different role to play.
Yes, I think that as the state of the market today in Europe, this is pretty much required. So you can have a very scalable business for consumer solution and small enterprises, but for large enterprises it's still very difficult in Europe to sell a SaaS solution. And a SaaS solution can be sort of a starting point, which lets them experiment and then maybe scales up to larger projects.
I mean, talking to Gabriele this morning, he also mentioned that you have a fintech solution.
Yeah.
So this is then the second product line, I guess. So what are you offering in the fintech space?
Okay, in the fintech space, of course, we are using all this company data and all these semantic analysis technologies to also analyze financial documents. So, for example, for banks, we're working to help bank understand better their customer base or their potential customer base, and to get insights on their clients or their competitor clients. And to better position their products or to scale their operations. And even in the risk management area or credit scoring, these data can be used to augment, let's say, traditional risk scoring models.
And did you have any particular issue entering? I think you offer it then to banks mainly. You had any particular regulatory issue? Data security, things like this. I guess this is a problem, especially with the established legacy IT infrastructure of banks, as we know.
Yes, it is. Of course, we don't have that for the SaaS part. So for the small business, that's not an issue at all. But for larger corporations and banks, yes, this is definitely an issue. So a lot of times they ask us to deliver an on-premise solution, which is a real problem because our data is constantly updated. So keeping it in sync it costs a lot
Yeah, of
more
course.
than it would cost with a cloud-based solution. But we hope that with the recent effort, even from the EU, on regulating this, on having policies on these data issues, it will improve.
I mean, you lost a client simply because you did not offer an on-premise solution?
Yes, we did.
Okay, you lost premise. So it's still the adoption. But summarizing, we can say the pivot helped a lot. So now you are a team of
We are a team of 30 persons
30?
from 4 different nationalities, and we have a lot of engineers in the
Okay.
team. So 25 out of 30 are engineers. We have a lot of PhDs with expertise in machine learning and big data and company information.
And all based in Trento?
Now we're based. The headquarters is in Trento,
Okay.
and we have another office in Pisa.
Okay.
And that was a precise decision because in Trento and Pisa there are very excellent universities and research centers on the topics that
so
we're in.
talent pool is not an issue for
Yes.
you. Perfect. And you got an investor, so you're financed, you can quietly develop and progress.
Yeah.
So what are the next steps? What are you looking forward now?
The next step for us, the big next step we're working at the moment is expanding to the rest of Europe.
Okay.
Because at the moment we think that there's a lot of solution for the US market, and Europe is a difficult one because it's very fragmented, and company information is also fragmented, and it faces different regulatory issues, and then there are different languages, so it's a fragmented market which is difficult to address. And not having these informations all together, it means also that the economic transaction, the economic markets do not run smoothly because there are discrepancies in information. It's different.
Okay.
So what we want to do is to address Europe first.
Okay. And what is the country you are targeting next?
The next country will be the UK,
Okay.
but we are also looking at other countries in Europe. We haven't still decided which one.
And
exactly.
why UK?
UK because company information in the UK is open data.
Okay.
So it is pretty easy for us to get to that market without making huge investments. In other countries, and Italy is one of those, also Germany is another one. This company information, even though it's public, it's held by the government,
Yes.
it's very, very expensive to get.
Okay. And besides the regulatory aspect in the language, is there any other particular issue you faced as a SaaS in expanding to European other markets, or?
Yeah, yes, sales are still an issue. Because even if you have a SaaS solution, you need salespeople who are native with the language on the one side, but also with the business culture of the country you want to sell in. And that's not easy to find. Salespeople are a rare thing.
So now we talked a lot about SaaS and the problems with that. What is about founding in Italy?
Funding in Italy, on the one hand, is tough, but because of course the capital, the equity market is much smaller than in other countries. But on the other hand, it is very rewarding because it's our home country, and we think there's a lot of non-expressed talent which we can give them a way to express themselves and grow. So we're very happy of this decision in the end.
Okay, perfect. So any particular advice to another Italian SaaS startup or an European SaaS startup you would pass out?
I would say plan very carefully your first marketing and sales initiative and start from the beginning planning the growth, because it can be difficult to manage.
Okay, perfect. But luckily you had a good co-founder that helped you.
Yes, of course. Gabriele is a pillar of SpazioDati. Without him, I never have done it.
Okay, perfect. So, last chance to leave a message. Something to add on?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would say don't be scared and express your idea and try hard and keep trying, because it won't be you won't be successful from the first day, but keep trying and you will succeed.
Okay, perfect. You agree, Gabriele, with everything?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect,
Keep
fine.
moving forward.
Michele,
Thank you very
Stato
much.
piacere. It was really nice. Great insights into the reality of a SaaS startup in Italy. You can get investment. There are great ideas and talents. Gabriele, thanks for the support in the back, and have a great Web Summit.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks. Bye.